camping cookout with my buds, Andrea, Vijaya, and Owen today. I am feeling very good about all the deliciousness we've already had at this camping cookout.
Yeah.
Andrea, you made that gnocchi?
I did.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Easy
How
to
many
make.
ingredients was that?
Maybe 5.
Maybe. You are known for 5 ingredients and also like cottagey, campy cooking.
Yeah, totally.
So I feel like that's very, very good.
Maybe less.
After that, Vijaya, you made that delicious queso. I ate probably on those 2 chips. A half a cup of cheese. I'm thrilled.
Yes, put it on cardboard. It's delicious.
It would be delicious. 100% wood chips. And when you're in the woods, you know.
There you go.
Fantastic. And Owen, you're going to be coming up later showing us some delicious things and some tips. But I wanted to make something sweet. So as opposed to doing something, well, this recipe, you can actually make it if you want to on the campfire. You could make it ahead. There's many different ways you can do it, but what I'm gonna make is a delicious blueberry corn upside down cake. It's really tasty. I don't know, when it's summertime, especially in Canada, especially around where we all live, it's all about corn and blueberries for me.
Right.
Those are the things, like, you know, when you're driving up north, whether you're going to a campsite or a cottage or anything, you see those stands on the side of the road?
We love those,
yeah.
Those are the ones where I'm like, pull over.
Jerry's got a bushel of corn. Everything.
I have no idea what else I'm making, but guess what? Corn and blueberries are going to be in pretty much every single meal. Well, I wanted to make this delicious cake. It's really, really simple to put together. It kind of is almost like a cornbread-ish, but it's an upside-down cake, so you get extra moisture, which helps if you want to cook it over the barbecue or over the fire. But I'm going to put this cake together. It's super simple. So in this bowl here, I have got half a cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, just beaten together with a cup of sugar. Now, anytime I'm writing a cake recipe, I always say to cream the butter and sugar together. And that is like a verb, like to cream something together. And that means to beat in some, a little bit of air into the butter and sugar. Now, usually, if you're making things at home, you do that with a hand mixer. You beat that together, but we're going camping, so you don't want to do that.
You don't have a hand mixer when you're camping,
No.
But we might have a Mary.
I don't think so.
Yes. Listen, they got battery-powered ones, but I don't know how long that's gonna last. But you just wanna mix it together until it looks kind of creamy. I'm not worried about getting too much air in here because we're gonna put a lot of chemical leaveners in here that's gonna give it that lift. So into that butter and sugar mixture, I'm gonna add in 2 eggs. This is the thing that I feel like is the reason I would make this batter at the very least at home, if not the whole cake. Oh, and how do you transport eggs?
There are actually hard plastic holders.
Okay.
Or you can crack them ahead of time
Okay.
and just put them in something that's relatively watertight.
Okay.
It usually works pretty well,
That's
but you
good.
have to use them pretty quickly. So.
I was gonna say, just loose eggs hanging around?
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got one of those eggs in there. I like to beat them in one at a time. And with this cake, you can't really go wrong. If it looks like a dog's breakfast, it's going to taste like a cake, and that's a delicious one. All right. Give that another beat in. And now I'm going to start adding in some flavors. So in addition to that delicious butter and sugar, I'm going to toss in about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. That vanilla extract is going to give you that classic kind of desserty flavor. This is what takes it kind of away from classic cornbread and into the world of dessert. So add in about 1.5 teaspoons of that. If you wanted to, you could go in with almond extract. That would be really beautiful. I'm going to switch to a whisk because my elbow grease is not... She's tired from portaging. I was carrying a canoe all day. So we're gonna get that. Oh, there you go. See, bring a whisk. Always travels with whisk. That's what you must do. So I'm gonna beat that together. And now for a little bit of added richness and kind of lightness into this cake, I'm gonna add in a cup of vanilla yogurt or regular yogurt.
Okay.
You could also, any sort of yogurt, if it's plain, if it's vanilla, even sour cream would work really, really nicely.
Love sour cream.
Right? Sour cream in a cake?
Rich,
What a
moist.
delight. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's the best. And it keeps it good for longer. It keeps it really nice and moist for longer. So I'm gonna add in a cup of that. Just spoon that right on into the mix. As you can tell, I'm not being very exact because this is one of those recipes that you can really kind of throw together. Give that a whisk together. And then for a little bit of brightness, I'm gonna add in about 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. You could also switch this up and do orange. That would be really beautiful with the blueberry.
Yeah.
I know. I wouldn't do lime, that sounds weird.
Orange would be good, though.
Orange would be
Yeah.
good.
Orange and lemon.
Orange and lemon. Andrew Bucket.
boy.
She fancy. Yeah. All right, add that zest in there. And then I'm also gonna add about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. That yogurt and this lemon juice add a little bit of tartness, which help react with the baking soda and baking powder that I'm gonna add in. Because cornmeal is a heavier kind of starch, it tends to weigh the cake down. So this extra little bit of acidity is gonna add a little bit of puffiness into there. So give that a mix together. This already smells so good. And now I'm gonna get to work on the dry ingredients. So in this bowl over here, I'm gonna add in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
You know what you could do ahead of time too? I'm thinking, Mary.
What?
That's your recipe, but I'm thinking.
No, give me it.
You can measure out all the dry ingredients and put them in a Ziploc bag and then take them with you.
1,000%.
Yeah, right?
Well, and also this is actually, because this is kind of a quick bread or a muffin method of a recipe, you could actually mix this all together, pop it in a container, and then make it there. That'll allow everything to hydrate. The baking soda and baking powder won't freak out. It'll be perfect.
Nice.
I know, kind of
Okay.
weird, right?
I like that.
I know.
Thinking ahead.
We got the tips.
We do.
All right, now I'm gonna go in with a 1/2 cup of cornmeal as well. That's going right on in. And then for those chemical leaveners, I'm adding in a tablespoon of baking powder. That's a lot of baking powder, but again, we want this to rise up really nicely. Then I'm going in with a teaspoon of baking soda, which is gonna react almost like a volcano with that lemon juice.
Yeah, so fun.
It's so fun. Volcano while camping, but not in a scary way, but in a light. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of salt is going in as well, and I'm just gonna give that a little mix together. That is looking absolutely beautiful. Again, I love the texture of that cornmeal in there. It really gives a little
grit, the crunch.
Yeah.
Is that like the edges?
Medium or coarse cornmeal? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. I usually buy like the cheap one, the one that's on sale. Yeah, the fine. But if you have a coarser grind, that will work perfectly. And in fact, if you have a coarser grind, you can set this aside and allow that cornmeal to kind of balloon and kind of hydrate up, exactly. So I'm gonna add that dry into the wet, give that a stir together, and this is where you feel like you're making a cake, which is a delight.
And you are making a cake.
I am making it.
Surprise.
We are getting this all together. Because we've got that yogurt and that lemon juice in there with all of that baking powder, that baking soda, this is a stiffer batter, which I really like. It gives you almost like a muffiny batter texture. So get that all mixed together, looking beautiful. And then over here, I have got a cast iron skillet. If you are doing this over a barbecue or in an oven, cast iron skillet is absolutely perfect. But since we are wanting to bake this over something that's a little bit hotter, I do like to add something in the bottom just to give it a little bit of kind of juiciness. So I've got some blueberries here that I'm just gonna scatter to line the bottom of this pan. That's gonna act kind of as insurance so that its bottom doesn't burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, insurance, my old job. Fun fact, used to be an insurance broker. All right. So now I'm going to get some of this batter and pop it right on into that pan.
It looks so fluffy.
It's super fluffy. You just want to lay it out. Obviously, I haven't mixed it 100% perfect, but honestly, this all bakes out absolutely beautifully. Again, with that beautiful juice from those blueberries.
And everything tastes better after a long day. Like outside, it doesn't matter how perfect it is.
No.
It's going to be exceptional.
It's going to be so good. Now, Owen, since you haven't done any cooking yet, would you take this to the oven for me?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic.
It's Owen's oven debut.
I know. Owen's kitchen debut.
Yeah.
So Owen is popping that in a 350 oven for just about 40 to 50 minutes. Again, this lasts really, really nicely. You can make it ahead of time, but if you insist and you really want to cook this cake over an open fire, my tip is any cake can be a pancake if you cook it in a pan. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I have got a pan here. You would do this on a griddle, anything right in those coals. Add a little bit of butter into there, and then just use that batter almost like you would a pancake batter. Just pop that right on in.
Yeah.
This is something that I do anytime I'm trying out a new cake recipe, and I'm scared it's not gonna work. I make a pancake out of it, give it a taste, and if it tastes delicious, then that cake is gonna come out perfect. So just add that in, give those little blueberries right on top, and it bakes up almost like a little kind of biscuity pancake situation. Looking absolutely beautiful. Just cook those, give them a flip over, and you end up with a few things. First off, this cake, once you bake that, looks like that, which looks out of control.
That looks so
And then we've got those perfect little pancakes. So whether you are making dessert or breakfast, you have got the ultimate little treat. A little bit of powdered sugar on top if you're feeling it. A little bit of powdered sugar.
Is this one that are you gonna flip it?
You can flip it? Am I? Do we remember what happened last time I tried to flip something?
I do.
She did not end cute. All right.
Just a spoon, I think.
I think it's just a spoon day as well. Spoons and forks for all. We are going to dig into this delicious cake. Owen, thank you for your help.
Oh, I'm here for you. I'm
You
here.
got it. Well, when we come back, Owen is going to show us how to make his signature trail mix. Stick around. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.